Revenge films.
I live with my husband and my 3 daughters. We're just an ordinary family. My daughters go to elementary school and kindergarten. When they were small, I used to support the household as a housewife. But as they grew up, they didn't need me around all the time. So I talked with my husband and went back working for the company I used to work at. After my husband had a job transfer, we've been living away from my hometown. So we both lived far away from our parents' house. The only chance we got to meet our parents was national holidays like the New Year, so we would always go to visit them during that time period. This year wasn't an exception, and we were planning to go on a trip to visit our hometown as always. My husband's parents were very considerate of me as well, and they were very nice people, so my kids were also excited to visit their grandparents' house. After spending the end of the year at our own house, we arrived at my husband's parents' house on New Year's Day. Once we arrived, they took care of us and acted considerate.
You all must be tired. Everyone else is already here, but don't worry about them and make yourself comfortable.
And that's what she said. She was talking about the relatives of my husband. I heard it's a tradition for their family to have the relatives gather every New Year. So his relatives had already gathered at his parents' house, drinking alcohol and eating the New Year feast. And then I found his sister-in-law, so when I greeted her with a bow, she said, and went in the other direction coldly. My husband's parents and relatives were all kind, but actually, my sister-in-law disliked me. Because my husband used to live with his parents until he got married. His salary was shared with his parents often, and she got some financial support from her mother. But after he got married, they didn't get a share of his salary anymore, so his mother got hesitant to provide her financial support. So it looks like she has hated me since the very beginning. I left my sister-in-law, and when I went to meet the other relatives, they all wished me a happy new year with a smile. Amid of that, my kids were fidgeting. The reason why they were doing that is because they wanted something. Yes, they wanted the money envelope. Every year whenever they came here, a lot of the relatives would give them money envelopes. The relatives had kids too, but because everyone was already adults and also because we got married late, the only young kids there were my kids. So everyone was so generous and gave my kids a lot of money. My oldest child in elementary school especially understands the importance of money. So this time of the year when she gets money envelopes is the most exciting throughout the whole year. I felt apologetic that we're the only family that gets the money envelopes, but because my relatives mostly had sons for some reasons, they adored my 3 daughters and would give them the envelopes happily. For a while, I was busy greeting my husband's relatives, and the kids were overjoyed by receiving the money envelopes and doing their thing. Then, my father-in-law suggested to my kids that they go shopping for toys. I was glad about his offer, but I told him he was doing too much for us, giving them money envelopes and even buying them toys. But he told me to let him do something for their grandchildren. He only gets to meet a few times every year, so we ended up taking them to the toy shop. He recommended my kids to leave their bags that had their money envelopes inside due to safety reasons. After my kids left, I helped my mother-in-law who was cooking and serving food. After a while, my kids came back with large toys in their hands.
Mom, look! Grandpa bought this for me.
That's great. Did you thank him?
Yes.
Dad, thank you so much.
It's fine. I'm glad they like it.
Then the kids said to me,
We also got so many money envelopes.
Good for you. When we were having a conversation, the kids suddenly started wondering. When I asked them what happened, they told me that they heard a metal sound inside. So when we took out what's in the envelope, surprisingly, all the money inside had turned into a penny or a nickel. Their money had disappeared. And my youngest daughter started weeping, and the other relatives nearby, and my parents-in-law also gathered to see what was going on. They did receive some money before going shopping at the toy shop, and there's no way that the relatives' kids would change the money into coins. Then I realized my sister-in-law was nowhere to be found. So when I asked them about her whereabouts, one of the relatives answered that she went home because she had something urgent to do. My instincts told me that my sister-in-law was suspicious, so I made up my mind to tell my husband. Actually, my sister-in-law had visited our house once a long time ago. The money I had in my wallet went disappearing, but because I just got married to my husband, I couldn't tell him back then. Then, my husband revealed that she'd been stealing from his wallet often back when he used to live with her, and his parents even said that they had a similar experience. But even if I questioned my sister-in-law, I doubt that she'd admit to it so easily. Then my kids told me something, so I decided to question her using that information. Then my parents-in-law called their daughter and said that they wanted her to visit them again because they wanted to give her something. Thinking she'd be able to get a gift, she quickly came to visit them. My mother-in-law started.
You stole my granddaughter's money, didn't you?
She questioned her in a fierce attitude. My husband continued.
Show us what's in your wallet.
My sister-in-law made a panicked expression for a moment, but she calmly showed us what's in her wallet. Inside, there were a pile of $10 bills.
Look, there are folded lines on the note. These have to be what belong to our daughters.
Huh? No, I just folded them. You don't even have proof. Can you not blame me?
We have proof. Take a close look at the bill. When I said that, she took out the bills and looked surprised to find something there.
What are these stickers?
Actually, last New Year, my daughters got all the money envelopes mixed up, and they had no idea which one was their own. So my oldest daughter pasted different stickers on them to see which one belonged to who. You can see the 3 different stickers on them. If you didn't steal them, why are there stickers on the bills? Then my sister-in-law suddenly got angry.
Kids don't need this much money. They're getting too much.
How can she say that? She has never given my daughters any money, even a penny.
First of all, it's your fault that I'm not getting any money anymore. So you're not in the position to complain, even if I stole from your kids.
With those words, the relatives as well as her parents got furious and yelled what's going on in her mind to make her steal the money envelopes from the kids. At the end, she was kicked out of the house from her parents, and we got her to return all of the money, and our crazy trip back home ended like that. After a while, I got to know this when my parents-in-law texted me, but it seemed like my sister-in-law had been gambling slots on a daily basis and had a huge debt borrowing money from many different places. When she was struggling to pay them back by the deadline, she saw my daughter's money envelopes and ended up stealing them. Plus, she used to have a job, but she pretended to be sick to go gambling slots for many days. So once the company found out, she was fired. Her parents got enough of her and broke relations with her, and their relatives also told her that they wouldn't forgive her until she paid back all her debts, and sent her to a factory at a very isolated place. Well, if she works there, she would have to use a car or bus to get to town. And I heard that a friend of the relatives was the chief there, so he'll make sure she won't get away until she pays her debts. When her parents took her there, I heard that she made a fuss and was making a tantrum. But I don't feel sorry for her who stole my kids' money. But I never expected my kids to be pasting stickers on the bills behind our back. After the incident, I taught them not to paste stickers on bills. But it's true that we were able to catch my sister-in-law thanks to the stickers. And I'm glad they were able to get them back using their own strategies.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.